Hello, everybody. My name is Lucara, and this is Eco Global Survival. Is it even called Eco Global Survival still? Was it ever called Eco Global Survival? Anyway, we are 2 weeks in on my community server. It's community server number 11, and which is wild. 11 community servers. Plus, I did a solo run. That's a lot of eco. So yeah, we're 2 weeks in. How many people got online right now? Well, we got a good decent amount of people online right now. The server's definitely been less populated than past servers, but I think a lot of people are waiting for update 10 before they play. Um, I didn't do as good a job advertising this run as well. And hello, Ro. How are you on this fine Saturday? So let's check my store here. I checked it this morning. I should have most things in stock. Oh, I can make a lumber dresser, I guess. Gotta get those lumber dressers out there. We'll just go basic. If anybody wants softwood or hardwood lumber furniture, let me know. I'm not gonna stock, normal lumber, softwood, and hardwood. You sent me a DM on Discord. All right, I will. I'll remind me again later. I'll check it. Well, I'll see it after stream. I'll reply to you after stream. What do we need? Lots of not lots of charcoal. I had 400 charcoal. Is it quick? And is it something I can answer here? Or is it something that I'll have to type out? Because if I can answer, you don't care if I answer it in public, I'll check it and answer you right now. But if I need to type it out, I'll wait till later. Get some charcoal brewing here. It's yes or no pretty quick. Let me take a quick look. Of course, Discord's being funny. Yeah, go ahead, Ro. I don't mind. I mean, don't spam, but yeah, I don't mind. And I'm pretty sure I'm going to want to make some epoxy. Oh, I'm out of rubber again. Okay, I feel like I've sold way more rubber than I expected. I guess I've only been making them 100 at a time, so let's make 200 rubber. I mean, I should know exactly where. No, I said do not spam. I said you can mention it. Do not spam, please. I need protein. I don't have anything to give me protein. So for anybody's wondering what Ro asked me, you picked up your charcoal? All right, nice, Tom. Well, yeah, I know you're using it. I don't know if anybody's using it besides you and I. Hey, Darth. Ro said he's been streaming on Twitch a bit and he wanted to know if he could do a little shameless self-promotion in my channel. And I said, yes, that is fine. Just don't spam. I think that's fair. All right. Rubber. Because, yeah, basically the rubber is being used for tires for skid steers and trucks, right? Which I should know. I should have an idea of how much rubber is being used because I was making the trucks. Spam is protein? I guess it could be. Yeah, don't add everyone, please. I rarely add everyone. I'm gonna make some epoxy because there was talk about getting some flat steel out there. And I think flat steel uses epoxy, right? Yes. So let's make some epoxy as well. Okay, so yeah, I'm literally out of protein sources right now. But I got yeah. All right, so I am over having spoilage. So yeah, let me know, people. 2 servers ago we had spoilage. People didn't really like it, so we got rid of it last server. So there was no spoilage last server. This server there's spoilage again, mostly because not intentionally, I didn't mean to put spoilage on there, but it's there. How much do we hate spoilage? I guess is the question. I hate it. I'm sure the cooks and the farmers really hate it. I mean, I do have a ton of spoiled stuff, but it's mostly like seeds. Like, yeah, I have 1,800, but like this 1,000 spoiled food, these were cedar seeds, right? I had 1,200 cedar seeds. Um, yeah. Anyway, I'm not a fan of spoilage. I'm gonna try to get rid of it for next server, unless people are like, no, you know what? It's actually cool. But I feel like spoilage is actually cool is going to be a very minority opinion. I did make some elevator call posts as well because I know people are talking about getting industrial elevators, which is what the flat steel is for. Oh, I sold some more gas too. Should I make some more gas as well? Oh, and if you're interested in composite palm or composite redwood, I have 100 of each. I'm gonna try to have 100 of each stocked. If you want more, let me know. But for now, yeah, let's get some gas here. 50. Thing with gas is it doesn't spit out empty barrels, right? So I don't want to make gas unless I need to. But people need gas to fuel their skid steers and trucks, right? Hey Thorgrim, how you doing today? It is afternoon for me. It's probably not afternoon for most of y'all. I guess. Oh, would it even be afternoon in Europe now, or would almost be evening in Europe right now? All right, so my tree farm is ready. So I'm gonna take my chainsaw. I got a chainsaw, and I did not realize this because this is my first time ever using the chainsaw. I mean, I used it a bit yesterday after Phil made it for me. Thank you, Phil. Um, I thought it used gas, right? I mean, it makes sense. I'm pretty sure in real life chainsaws use gas. I guess there's probably electric chainsaws too, but I fully expected to have to carry around gas for the chainsaw. And maybe that's because that's how it works in Satisfactory, but this is obviously not Satisfactory. This is Eco. um, yeah, you don't need to carry around gas to use the chainsaw. I was just surprised by that. I don't know. For some reason, I had it in my head that I would need gas for my chainsaw. And you know what? I just realized. Oh, Miso's working on some roads. Nice. Hello, Miso. Ah, I fell in the hole. I have not checked. Oh, the repair. Yeah, the repair would be fuel. Oh, it's repaired with gas? See, I haven't, you can see how much I've used it. The durability bar barely went down. So wait, oh, repair cost is gasoline. Okay, never mind. That's actually, that's a pretty good way to do it. It's a pretty good way to do it. It says it's repaired with gas. But maybe the whetstone works, right? Like if we didn't, whetstones are from mod, right? Maybe that's what's going on. But that's actually smart because you have to carry gas in your hand, don't you? Like that would be it would be pretty annoying having to carry around gas. All right, so I just want to check, see how I have not checked these in a long time. All right, we're fine. 24. So I made 76 basic upgrade threes. That's actually more than I thought. Because like I said, there's way less people playing this server. So yeah, so do any of the whetstones work to repair this? Is it steel whetstone probably? If any, I'll try. Once I wear it down a bit, I'll try to repair with a whetstone. I'm just gonna stop here. So Phil's been busy. Modern is steel whetstone, yeah. So I'm assuming the chainsaw would. I mean, if a whetstone, the more I think about it, obviously, if you can repair it with a whetstone, obviously it's going to be steel, right? It's not going to be iron because, like you said, there is no modern whetstone. Modern tools are repaired with steel. Yeah, it says gas, but I mean, the whetstone might still work. I'm just, I'm not gonna, I'm not gonna waste a whetstone on a chainsaw that's barely wore out. I feel like Phil did not have these cool windows last time I was here. He definitely did not have all this equipment. See, so Phil did it differently than me. So last server, I went basic engineering, mechanics, industry, electronics. Phil basically did the same this run. But what I did is I kept my mechanics stuff separate in its own tier 2 workshop still, but Phil just went with a huge tier 3 workshop and put everything in there. It's probably better for storage to have it like this. It's probably easier for Phil to. So I used to sometimes, like, not all my equipment reached all my stockpiles last time, so it could be annoying at times. But yeah, no, that's a big. You only have one large lumber stockpile, Phil. You got some down underneath. Two, one on top, one on bottom. Okay. See, I had. Are you finding that's enough? Because last run I had four in my basement, three on my roof. I think we're out of iron. I figured that was going to happen, Cal. I bought some iron from you to make barrels this morning, Cal, and you did not have much left. Oh yeah, I was doing roads. That's right too. That's right too. I was doing roads in addition. Yeah, that would free up some space for you for sure. For sure. Um, what was I talking about? I don't know. Oh, repairing a chainsaw. So wait, so are you not a smelter, Cal? Oh, you are. Okay. Um, yeah. So I don't know if the whetstone will work on the chainsaw, but like I'm hoping it does. But I can. I mean, it's fine. I can repair it with gas. But like the tractor attachments, like the there's three attachments. There's one for like hoeing, one for planting, and one for harvesting. I think. Those three attachments, you can't repair them by hand. You have to sell the broken one back to the mechanic so the mechanic can fix it and put it back up for sale, which was somewhat annoying last run, but as the mechanic, but it is what it is. It's kind of funny though that my tree farm is finally ready to harvest and I kind of don't need it anymore. You know what I mean? Like I'm not really hurting for wood anymore. So I'm not cutting it all down today. For sure. I don't I'll just cut down some. I mean, I won't have space in my stockpiles for everything. I was kind of worried about this too. Well, what I'm really worried about is I don't want that. That is what I was worried about. I should have made it wider. Now, I mean, I can go down. I do have a stockpile down there. Underground and LLS take forever to dig out. But yeah, I had four in my basement last run, and I wasn't a miner, but a good chunk of it was sand and dirt. Um, like I mean, I've done that. Ooh, I've done the four in the basement thing on a bunch of runs now, but most of them I've been a miner, right? It's a little easier when you're a miner. But yeah, a good chunk of it was like dirt and sand last run, so it wasn't quite as bad. But I picked away at it too. Like it's not like, hey, Crocsguard, it's not like I did it all on like in the first week, right? Like my intention was to have stockpiles on the roof and then dig out the basement and replace, basically move the ones from the roof to the basement so that I didn't have to look at the ugly stockpiles on the roof. Because I mean, I'm doing it again this run with stockpiles on my roof, but if I can help it, I'd rather hide my stockpiles. But what happened was last run, like I just never, um, I never could afford to get rid of the ones on the roof, even as I added four in the basement over time. But it kind of worked like I said, I just pick away at it. If I didn't really have anything to do, I just go down to the basement and dig for a little bit, right? So it wasn't bad, and I didn't bring any food, did I? So this is not going to take long. But I like the chainsaw. Now let's go down and get this one. Yeah, like I have a stockpile right here that reaches my truck, so it's not a big deal. But all things being equal, it would have been better if it didn't fall, right? But it did. So tis what it is. But yeah, I've also trying to think of how many times I've done the four stockpiles in the basement thing. I did it. First time I did it, I think, was on server 5. Server 5 and on server 7. I built the way I built, like I found an area where the road was here, and then the land kind of fell off from the road. So I claimed right there so that I could build my house slash workshop even with the road, and then have room for like stockpiles underneath and not have to dig a whole lot for the large lumber stockpiles. So I did that, I think, on 5 and 7. Yeah, 5 and 7 I did that. Server 8. Which one was server 8? Yeah, server 8 I dug out 4 in my basement, but I was a miner that time, so it wasn't bad. And server 6, I was a cook, so I didn't have any buried stockpiles. Server 9, I had kind of like a raised platform for my stockpiles. Server 9 is the server I barely played though too. I guess I shouldn't say I barely played. It's the server I played the least on out of all my servers, for sure. Yeah, I couldn't imagine trying to have 4 large lumber stockpiles dug out like super early game. Yeah, now with the chainsaw, if you're just cutting down trees and not picking up the debris, I can see how people can do a lot of damage in a short amount of time. Oh, I got a new outfit. I should probably mention that. Shout out to Ishmael for my new outfit. Unfortunately, what is it? This to zoom in and out. I forget this. Unfortunately, there's not a lumberjack outfit. How is there not a logger outfit? Right, like with the lumberjack, with like the plaid and the the hat and a toque, I guess. You had 4 last server for the trees, but your house was 7 above ground, so only had to dig down. Yeah, so yeah, you know what I'm talking about. Same idea, right? Yeah, you build your house even with the road, but where there's a built-in, hollow area under your house. Thorgrim says you're doing pretty well, which is 2. I mean, if you can get away with it. Depends what you're doing, right? And how. Like, I found mechanics. I was mechanics, industry electronics, but also I was the main road builder last server. So I was constantly, right? Like, I'd log in and people sold me a bunch of crushed overnight, right? So I needed a lot of stockpile space for the crushed. And yeah, I'm going home because I'm hungry. Although what I should do instead of going home is I should go to one of the cooks. All right, so I was already out to see Kitty this morning, so I'll go to see Ange now. Well, let's just make sure Ange has some food in stock. I think she will. She was online last night. She probably cooked up some stuff. Oh yeah, all kinds of stuff. Oh, did not mean to get out of my truck there. Yeah, this tunnel could use some work. I don't know. Well, no, this tunnel's probably used a fair bit. It kind of joins a couple of the clusters of people. Flow through workshop, yeah. So it depends. Like I said, because like I said, Phil said he's getting away, which is 2 right now, but that's because he's not doing roads there, right? So is Punch is making roads. Miso, are you an engineer, Miso? I think you are, right? Yeah. So Punch and Miso are making roads. What else? Freakmonger been on late? No, 3 days. No, bro. Yeah. Rico. Well, Rico must have just taken that recently. Anyway, see, I don't know who's selling roads because I've placed 0 roads this run. I've been not contributing to the roads at all, and that's not good. I probably should try to get out and get some roads placed, but haven't. It is what it is. Kitty has pizza. Oh, yeah. I noticed she must have had advanced baking because I bought some Pirzox from her this morning. Ange does have some stuff, but there's a lot of stuff sold out too. Holy crap. It's a lot of sold out stuff. All right, is any of this protein heavy? No, that's fat. That's carbs. And I'll pick up some pineapple fried rice. We'll wait. Yeah, it tastes okay. Spiky rolls taste okay. I like spiky rolls, though. They're good. You get a lot of calories for what you. Yeah, everything everything Ange has is just carb heavy. All right, well, I'm gonna have to go visit Kitty, and I realize it must be hard for the cooks, because of the spoilage, right? All right, so let's go see if Kitty has some pizza then, or something for protein. Even just some meaty stew or simmered meat, I would take right now, right? For sure. Don't go off the road here. Ah! Hold on to her. Try to take it. Bakery's gonna be carb heavy too. Yeah. Think. Yeah, baked roasts I like. What was I ate? Some. I haven't found my favorite or least favorite yet. Um, Simmered meat, I think, or not simmered meat. What's it called? The advanced cooking one. It's not simmered meat because simmered meat is cooking. Seared meat? I forget what it's called. There's one that I think is horrible. I just forget which one. Actually, I'm gonna check to see what she's got for campfire stuff. Well, I'll take some wild stew. I just ate the last of that. Meaty stew. No, simmered's the cooking one. There's a there's an advanced cooking one. I think it's seared. No, it's not seared. Seared, I can as soon as I say seared, I'm like, that's not right. I'll look it up here in a sec. Well, let's check. I don't think she has advanced cooking, so she wouldn't have any. Yeah, simmered meat's this one. Ooh, papooses. I think is there one? Is there seared? It must be seared. Um, there's none for sale, but I can. Anyway, I think it's horrible. if if that's what it is. Yeah, seared meat. This one. I find this one horrible, which is too bad because I like eating that one. Blacking Out just discovered elk taco was your least favorite today. That's Blacking Out's favorite, isn't it? Yeah, oh yeah, Blacking Out said it's his favorite. Sorry, missed that one. I missed your hey Blacking Out, and Tarun, and then everybody else. So yeah, which is it's too bad that I didn't like that one because it's I don't think it's that hard to make. It's prime cut. No, never mind. Prime cuts infused oil. I think the boiled sausage maybe is the one that's not hard. Yeah, it's just sausage and meat stock. I remember I always tried to keep those in stock. That's your least favorite. I haven't found either yet. Well, let's see. Kitty has, oh, I do like, where's that? Fruit tart I find delicious. So I think I'm going to have to buy out the rest of those. Oh, yeah, here's the pizza. Let's just get one of each. And let's buy some huckleberry pies while I'm here. All right. I know none of these pizzas are going to be protein heavy. That's fine. I just tried it. Okay, that one tastes good. I'll leave. I'm not going to buy. I'm not going to buy her out of any of that in case other people want to come try them. Yes, seared meat is the one that I don't like. Tasty tropical pizza, incredible. That must be it. That must be my favorite. I think it is. I think that was it. If it said it was incredible. Yep, tasty tropical pizza, better than anything. Good. So, how hard is this to make? Dough, bacon, pineapple, sun cheese, tomatoes. All right, that's not too bad. So, in theory, Katie should be able to keep that in stock for me. Katie's obviously not watching because she's not here. Oh, it's sold out. That was the only one she had. Katie does not. Kitty's probably sleeping. Right? Kitty. This is the time of day Kitty usually sleeps, so I'm sure she's sleeping. Um, Remind me to ask Kitty to make more tasty tropical pizzas later. I wonder what my least favorite is going to be. I've had runs where I never found my favorite food. And you know what? Now that I think about it, um, baked meat. I like baked meat this run. I think it's just okay. I think it's okay. But baked meat is a step down in quality, right? I think it's close. Simmered meat. I think baked meat is just it's just protein and fat, right? There was one run. It was the run where Destiny's End was a cook and he lived right next to me. Where I a good chunk of the run I lived off baked meat and I went right by my farm, didn't I? She was gonna make more of those this morning, but there was no bacon. Ah, there you go, blacking out. We need bacon. Yeah, fruit tarts and baked meat. I lived largely off fruit tarts and baked meat that one run from Destiny's End because I think I found them both good or both one good and one delicious. I forget exactly, but I basically lived off those for most of the run. All right, so well, I don't have much room for wood anymore, so let's just cut down a few birches here. But like I said, I don't need wood as bad as I used to. But I mean, whoa, oh yeah, see that's a problem. I might have to cut down some neighboring trees just to get that to come down, and that's fine. Yeah, I do understand too how somebody can do serious damage with the chainsaw. Bacon is coming. There we go, folks. Thank you, Blacking Out. Yeah, I think I might. I'm kind of thinking of I might do hunting next time. So for anybody who doesn't know, Blacking Out's like our primary butcher now. Or are you like the only butcher at this point, Blacking Out? At any rate, he was under the weather like yesterday, and maybe still is. I don't know. So I like, oh, I'll do some hunting. I'll sell you the carcasses, since you're not feeling well. And I kind of forgot. I kind of like hunting. I like that part of the game. So I might do hunting next run. We'll see. I have a star available and I almost took hunting because I was having fun, but I know you do hunting is much easier if you have the skill for sure. But I was like, no, I better save my star in case we really need a miner or smelter or whatever. Because it's still a week. Yeah, it's still a week before I get another star, so I should probably not spend that one unless I absolutely have to. But yeah, I went on quite a killing spree. I was focused on bison. I think I had like 20 bison, which is a lot of meat. But Katie had said there wasn't a lot of meat available, probably because Black and Out had been sick. So I was like, I'll get some meat out there. It helped out. Well, I'm glad. But yeah, I think I made 400 arrows and it just went. Well, so I spent 350 arrows, and it was about an hour. I think it took me. That was like I did do some other things amongst the hunting. It wasn't just strictly hunting, but it was mostly hunting. All right, and this one's just gonna stay up there, I guess. I think if I cut down this one, it'll fall. But I don't even know if I have space. Actually, I have just enough. No, not if I cut this one. Oh, also, I'm sure most of you were probably here on Monday. Does anyone remember how bad my performance was on Monday? And I said, "Oh man, I might have to go through my computer and you know uninstall some stuff." The only thing um, I uninstalled that over Overwolf. I almost said Overwatch. That Overwolf program that you use to like load your Minecraft mods, right? That I had from when we were playing Minecraft. I uninstalled that in CurseForge, which is I think part of Overwolf, and my performance has been like a bajillion times better. And that's the only thing I changed was I uninstalled that. So, I mean, I don't know why it would be using a lot of resources because it's not like it's actively being used, right? Anyway, at any rate, if anybody's having problems with performance and you have that Overwolf program, get rid of it because it I don't know, at least for me, it was seemed to be the issue. All right, so now I'll have enough space for this tree. The NVIDIA overlay. I mean, I do have NVIDIA, like GeForce Experience or whatever. Because yeah, it's funny. Like the Alt Z used to, I guess it doesn't pop up for you guys, but Alt Z is how you hide the UI in Eco by default. Um, but Alt Z brings up GeForce Experience. So if you're wondering how to hide your UI if you have GeForce Experience installed, it's Control Alt C to hide your UI. See, no more UI. No, come on back. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. There. I was like, what? Why can't I get this back? Where'd my UI go? It's gone forever. Oh no. Just kidding. It's not. It's back. Yeah, flat steel's not cheap because, I mean, steel's not cheap. And then it's some epoxy on top of that. Oh, Phil, I was meaning to ask you, and maybe I could check the map and get the answer without having to even ask you. But are you making advanced upgrade 4 or modern upgrade 4s? Obviously, you have them yourself. But if I bring my 3s to you, can you turn them into 4s? I have 4. I have 4 modern upgrades. I would like to be turned into 4s if you can. But if that puts a big if that puts a big crunch on your resources, then I can wait. Gold and copper shortage. Okay. And no rush. Just when you get to a point where you're comfortable with the amount of resources you have, and I know if you need let me know if you need more epoxy or plastic because I think you need both of those or at least one of them for the MU4s. I'll I'll make sure that I have lots of stock for you. Because yeah, I know it is expensive. It's like it's a lot. I remember last run, and even like I don't even have to do all 4 at once. Like I could do 2, right, and then come back later and get the other 2. But well, especially actually, I'm not 7. I'm not level 7 composites yet, so I can't even make the composites one yet. But I am for oil drilling, so it'd be nice to. But anyway, whenever you're better stocked, I will come by for those. And I do have elevator call posts. Although I want to state for the record, you don't strictly need elevator call posts. They're optional. Just if anybody was curious about that. Yeah, see, I don't have room for oh well, I guess I didn't need to take all this food out. I guess I mean, I I definitely don't have room to cut down my entire tree farm right now, but let's get some charcoal being made. All right, so charcoal, we're going to burn charcoal to make charcoal. Old charcoal will burn through the old logs pretty quick. Is anybody, I forgot to ask, is anybody making ashlar yet? In any amounts at least? Yeah, it's 300, it's 3.5 wood to make one charcoal. So 100 charcoal is 350 wood. And that's with the best upgrade. I might put an order in for some ashlar later. Oh, we got some nice sandstone. Oh yeah, granite. I think I like the granite myself. Limestone is nice too. I know there are some people, such as Roe, who really like the limestone. I think the sandstone's a little underrated. I'm not a big fan of the gneiss, but I know some people like it. I might have to do that. Now yeah. It won't be today, but probably next stream. I'm gonna try to improve the look of this disaster of a house. I know like the different floor materials, it absolutely bothers some people. I've gotten used to it now, but it bothers a part of me as well. So obviously, as you know, a composites person, I'm going to mostly use composites for my new house, but I will also use some. Oh, I don't want the seeds in there. I'm also going to use some ashlar. Oh, you're ready for MU4s? Okay. Then I will be up in a minute. Yeah, all right, so we got all kinds of food there now. What do I need? Not carbs. Definitely not carbs. All right, so what's low carbs? Papooses are low carbs. Let's pound the papooses. All right, well, I'm going to come up just to get 2 from you right now, Phil. Actually, probably just 1 because this is still, yeah. I mean, I guess I could turn it off. You have framed glass as well. Well, yeah, one thing I'd like to do, Phil, and it's not today or even in the next couple days, I want to take Josh's suggestion. I would like to build the 4 lasers in the computer lab, even if we're planning to let the meteor hit, just in case we change our mind. And it'll give you something to do. Now, like I said, this is not right now because you're still trying to do other stuff. But by the end of this week, you know, everybody who wants a skid steer or a truck will probably have one, right? People who want MU4s will probably have them by the end of the week. So your project, like a week from now, will be to make the 4 lasers in the computer lab. Because that'll give you, and by extension, people who make stuff, a project, right? Now, I want to reiterate, we're planning to let the meteor hit this run. I mentioned it in Discord, and there was only one person who said, I'd rather see it shot down. And it's unfortunate for that one person, admittedly, but, you know, when it's like 15 to 1, I'm going to go with the 15, obviously. Yeah. Yeah. Well, yeah, but they postponed 10 by, I wouldn't be surprised if they postponed 10 by another month. I mean, I have no idea how it's doing right now. I haven't checked. I have no idea what kind of state it's in. Oh, your store is not buying MU3s right now, or either that or I'm blind, which is possible. Oh, what? Oh, you made 8 chainsaws? Bill went wild with the chainsaws. Be like everybody had just did chainsaws for hands. That was a bad chainsaw sound. Or is it over here? No, this is your engineering stuff. Yeah, and I will say one thing that's going against this server compared to last server we had a bunch of activities, right? Like I built the racetrack. Lord Frost had that like parkour course. Simon and Ubuntu built the giant pyramid maze thing. Kitty had hide and seek events, right? So there was all these events going. This run we have no events, and I was sitting there this morning and I was like, maybe I should try to come up with an event of some sort. And like, I don't want to build a racetrack again for sure because it was a lot of work. And at some point I'll do a racetrack again, but I'd rather be capable of building my own roads for that. You know what I mean? Or at least the state of the roads on the map right now need work before I would consider making a racetrack. Trying to beat the meteor at its own game with chainsaws, Truden says. Yep. And I don't know if you're aware, Phil, or care, but you don't have a cap on your MU3 buy order. But I could build a parkour course probably pretty easily, right? All right, so I'm just doing 2, Damo. I'm assuming you're waiting for MU4s as well. I think I have them for 300 in my store. Let me go check. I'll go check my store. I think 300. I'll let you know. Why am I running and not driving? Oh, Damo's there for an elevator. Never mind then. Perfect. And I know Kitty's been under the weather, so I'm not expecting her to run any events this run. And I think Kitty didn't have a lot of fun this run compared to past runs, I think. Oh, you're still on MU1s, Cal? Yeah, you got to get those upgraded, dude. And then I'll probably take a look at some of my prices once I get these MU4s. Oh, you have 2, you just need 1. 330 I got it for, but actually I'll put it for 300 because it's going to be a lot of my prices are composites will probably be down to 3 after I get these upgrades, and oil products I don't know if they'll be 1, but they'll be less than $1.50, probably maybe $1.20. I'll have to do some math. It's hard to do math on oil products because it's so dependent on food. And it's like, well, my favorite food is this pizza, which costs like $7 each, right? So am I gonna base my food cost off that because it's my favorite food? Or am I gonna base it off of like campfire food, which is cheap, right? Metaplastics, they're queued. They're queued, Forgrim. Or wait, is there any queued? I'll put some in the queue. I have 100. If you really need plastic Forgrim, I have 100. Yeah, I'm on my way back, Tomo. I can take the reserve off and sell you my last 100 if you really need them right now. Like I know you need them for fiberglass. So I can hook you up if you need them. If not, I'll move them up in the queue. Oh, there's one. Nice. How long for the other one? Do I want to stand here and wait? Three minutes. Okay, I'm gonna go. Start this one. We gotta go paint the house. Oh yeah, you're getting ready to sell, right? Oh, I know you've been buying up. Do you need any right now? Is what I'm asking you. Like I have 100 in reserve that I'm using to make composites as needed, right? I'm aware I'm out. Okay, thank you. But I don't think because I have the rubber going right now, and then I have the epoxy, which can probably yeah, I can put the plastics in the queue ahead of those. That is not a problem, my man. at all. Water. Got a lot of compost. I know Ishmael was looking for compost at one point, but I don't think he is anymore. All right, so I'm just going to pull out this MU3 out of here. I'm going to put it in here. And I'm going to make this oil drilling upgrade. I'm going to put that at the front of the queue. Turn it back on. So I'll have this oil drilling upgrade ready to go. So by the time my MU4 finishes and I get back, that should be just about done. And I can move the modules around again. But have fun painting the house, Calorie. And don't forget, tonight, Jackbox games, everybody. Or for everybody who's into party games, I guess. Yeah, I struggle to explain what Jackbox Games is sometimes. Because it's a collection of games. Or there's several versions of Jackbox, and each one is a collection of games. So there's trivia, there's like if anybody's ever played like Apples to Apples or Cards Against Humanity, there's stuff that's more like that. There's some that involve drawing. It's a fun party game. Basically, only I need to own it. I own a few versions. So I'll be playing it. I'll have it running. As long as you watch the stream, you play along on your phone or tablet or computer or whatever, any device, I guess. And we all play together. So that'll be happening tonight at 8 Eastern time for anybody who's interested. We've done it before. We've had a lot of fun. Oh, it should be ready right about now. Right about meow. Perfect. Thank you very much, Phil. I'll come back for the other two later. Remember my truck this time. I do that sometimes. I just feel the need to run instead of drive. Yeah, 8 Eastern time for the Jackbox games tonight. And as long as there's a couple people there at the start, it's fine. Because, it's awkward if there's nobody there, because I realize, not everybody's always available right at the start of a stream. But, if nobody's there at the start of a stream, I can just start playing the game, right? If it's eco or whatever. But if it's Jackbox, there's no solo part of the game, right? But anyway, it should be fun. It's always been fun in the past. We've done it a few times. Can't remember the last time though. Ooh, do I need labor on this? Oh, I do. Ooh, that could have been bad. Can I swap these on the fly? Yes. Not that it matters. Put that there. Do I have any? Oh, I do have iron bars, so I could make some barrels. So yeah, so barrels will get cheaper and will be more efficient here. Yeah, I'll do the math later, but I would say probably 1.2 for oil products. Once it's done, maybe 1. I don't want to go too cheap. Does Monkey have any of this stuff for sale? Monkey has some epoxy. All right, so I definitely need to move epoxy to the back of the queue, because if people really need it, they can go to Monkey. Josh wants 90 gas. Holy crap, that's a lot of gas, Josh. And I need protein again. Shocking. I am shocked. And grab a pusa. Yeah, these pies are 37 minutes. They're going to go bad. I should probably try to eat some, but it's like, it's not going to help my balance any at all. But I guess my balance doesn't really matter. Why are you in here? You're supposed to go in this stockpot. Yeah, so are you buying compost to Rudin? Yes, the Windhurst North Depot. I might have to take some. Well, Ishmael said I might have to send Ishmael. I think Ishmael's gone. I think Ishmael's away on business, but he probably should have put a limit on his compost, right? I feel. Oh, and where'd that oil drilling upgrade go? Right there. Perfect. And let's queue up another one. So that'll go on my barrel maker. That to the front. Queue up some plastic Thorgrim for later. Well, not well for Thorgrim, but more for fiberglass, which everybody, not everybody needs, but it's needed for a lot of stuff. You can't have any electronics without fiberglass. I don't have any fruit salads. I might have to try to find some fruit salads later as well. Oh, I'm so carb heavy. I am apparently on the anti-Atkins diet. I'm just pounding the carbs. But if I was to do like some kind of scavenger hunt or parkour course, something like that, would people be interested in that? I don't want to do it if nobody's going to come and participate. I was worried last night. There was a point last night where I was like the only one on. Oh, look at this. Look at this. Who's leaving this mess? Oh, wait, that was probably me. Yeah, I was the only one on for a bit last night, and I was like, oh, that's not good. But people must have been busy last night. It happens. All right, let's see if Ishmael has room for this compost. I know he can turn it into fertilizers, but I'm not sure how bad fertilizers are really even needed. Right? This run. Not all that much. But yeah, if update 10 gets pushed back again, I'm not sure. Yeah, weekends in summertime. Yeah, that's true. No, there actually there absolutely is a correlation there. Program. Like I can even see it in my. No, I think I told this story, or well, it's not really a story. This anecdote. Oh no, he doesn't have he doesn't have space for them. I'm not surprised. All right, let's take it to the Truden stump then. Um, yeah, typically I get more views on the weekend, right? Generally, ooh, I almost went off the road there. Generally speaking, there are exceptions, but generally get more views on the weekend. But not that's not so much the case in the summer months because people are outside on the weekends in the summer, right? So people are also probably going to be outside, preventing them from playing eco in the summer, right? Trying to remember, what was it? Server 7 last year was around this time in the summer. Trying to remember how that one did overall for people are using the depot though for sure. A lot of stone in here. All right, compost. I feel bad taking money for this to Ruden. I feel like I should be giving it away. Oh well. I mean, I say I feel bad. It's literally $1. It's literally $1. All right. That is out of my stockpile. So, I mean, that was taking up a good amount of space. Now I'm going to take this new one. Oh, you're talking about industrial elevators. Yeah, because you wanted one for yourself, and Damo also wanted one, right? Damo and Darth wanted one. I'm trying to remember. I'm trying to think of how long they are to make. I know Aside from dirt, if you felt like you need to pay something. Yeah, no, I get it. Because in theory, people might want compost. Like at one point, Ishmael was looking for compost, right, to make fertilizers. They need to. And I know I've said this before. I'll say it again. They need to revamp fertilizers. 100%. They need to make like a compost bin that you can put your spoiled food in, right, and get compost. I know you can throw it on the ground, but I'd much rather not tell people to throw stuff on the ground because that forms bad habits, right? Anyway, I mean, there's a lot of things. There's a lot of things that they need to do in this game. Like, for example, the fact that this level 6 perk, both of them are still a work in progress with no functionality. Like, it even says what it's supposed to do. Like, the design part is done. They just need to code it, apparently. Anyway, well, that's my daily complaint about the eco developers for the day. It's done. It's over. Truden says, I want to make it so people get rid of stuff that they need, but didn't want to encourage making more mess just to sell the dump. Yeah. No, I'm glad you did that because I was like, I kept waiting for people to complain about no government stores, right? And nobody really did. So I think we can get away without government stores. But yeah, man, people really didn't like no currency on day one. But I'm not sure how it's going to work, right? With the settlements, or if it's going to work at all. Like, yeah, me and the other admins could log in before the server starts and we could make a town, right? And form a government that could be the global government. But then, like, we're tied to the town, right? I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens. I'm hoping we can make it work, and I mean, worst case scenario, we can just turn settlements off, right? It is possible to turn them off, apparently. I'd rather not. I'd rather try it. I know people want to try it, but this anarchy run kind of showed me that, I don't know, like, nobody's, and maybe they just didn't say it, but nobody was like, man, this anarchy run is way better than a normal run. Nobody said that. Some people were like, well, I like having no laws at the start, but I miss currency. Like, that's as close to a compliment as anybody gave the anarchy start. And yeah, buy sell of land claims was nice, kept it going for a bit. Yeah, I know. I think it was Phil asked for it, and I put it in, especially since we could just tie it to the library, right? So people can go, they can buy the books, get the scrolls, and if they need money, they can just sell them right there. Like, I know Strawberry Teddy Bear logged in, it was at least over a week. The server was over a week old before she even logged in. She just went straight to the library, got all her land claim papers, sold a bunch so that she could go. She had money. I mean, we give people money when they log in, but on top of that, she could buy herself a steam truck. She could buy herself like tier 2 or better materials to make herself a house. She could buy good food, right? So she was able to catch up in stars pretty quickly. Yeah, the organic roads were interesting. But yeah, I also prefer pre-planned, although I know one thing that people did like, that I know some people did compliment, was how everybody seemed to be more spread out this run. And I'm curious to see, was it because there was no road districts, or was it because there was no government stores, or a little bit of both, right? And I know some people have complained that I make too many road districts at start, so maybe I could just make less. But I feel like the problem is, if I only make a couple of road districts, that's going to cluster everybody back together. But then again, the whole settlement system is designed to cluster everybody together, right? So I don't know. I know I do it a lot, but but I don't like complaining about the developers. But man, I don't know. I don't know about this update. And yeah, so we want the plastic up there. I'm glad that pump jacks don't use modern upgrades. All right, so let's get a few more of these pump jacks going. I only have the 4 pumping right now because they're the only ones that are close enough to my ice box. So if I want to do any of these, I got to have food on me. So yeah. Well, or I don't have to have food. It's just easier if I have food on me, so I don't have to run to the ice box. Oh yeah, 1 barrel, that'll be good. 1 whole barrel at a time. Because I think like people are excited for boats, right? Like, is there anybody who's excited for settlements? I know there are people that are like curious about it, but I feel like people are more into the boats than the settlements. But maybe that's just my bias showing, right? And I'm seeing what I want to see. That confirmation bias, I think that's called, when you see what you want to see, right? Because it matches your preconceived notions. Which is definitely a thing in the world today, especially with social media and stuff. That is a whole other conversation. That is a road I'm not sure I want to go down on stream. And okay, there we go. We got all kinds of barrels to be filled. Hey, how you doing today, Russ? On this fine day? You're also an advanced Mason, right? Or you were planning to do it. Did you actually take it? Yes. Oh, and so is Cowd. But so far, Darth appears to be the only one that's really made any. Being a port is a playstyle that would work. That's interesting because there's also there's a server setting that you can do that disallows building structures over ocean. I'm not sure exactly how it's worded, but basically it's to prevent people from building bridges, to force people to use boats. But one thing's for sure, once boats are in, when I go to create the world, it's going to be not one continent, right? I'll definitely include multiple continents. How many, like, well, that's the thing. Do people want super small little continents? Or do they want like 2 continents, 3 continents, 4, 20? Like, I'm not sure exactly how flexible it is, but I know I have some flexibility on how many I can do. But I'm curious what people would like to see. An archipelago. I don't know if I can do that necessarily, bro, with the world gen settings. Maybe if I dive into them real deep. But I know, like, one of the world gen settings is minimum continents, maximum continents, right? So typically I just do 1 and 1, right? Like, even this one, even if you tell it to do 1 continent, it always spits out a couple of islands, right? What is going on here? What is this going to be? It's nobody's property. Rico's truck, so I'm assuming it's Rico. Imagine every biome is on. That would be interesting. So there's one desert. There's an island. It's all desert. Then there's a rainforest island. I don't know if the world builder is necessarily capable of that, or at least to my knowledge, it's not. So I could do, like, say 4 continents, right? I don't know if it's necessarily. Why am I going this way? I'm going to my tree farm. I can't guarantee they're going to be the same size, but I think it will spit out some smaller islands as well. But yeah, it'll be interesting. Like if there's only 1 desert, it'd be really interesting because all the smelters would live on that, right? If you went logging and carpentry, you were considering a port build, yeah. Well, technically, the ship building or shipwright, I think it might be called. Technically, it's in the carpenter tree or the woodworker tree, whatever it's called. Carpenter. It's technically here, but a lot of the boats use iron and stuff, right? Only the first few boats are wood, even though it's considered a woodworking profession. Um, but yeah, if I put that thing on that disables the bridges, right? I feel like that would kind of farmers would have a bad time. Yeah. Oh, like with one biome on each island. Yeah. I mean, that's not going to be how it works. I don't think. I mean, we'll see. I'll definitely mess around with it a lot, obviously, when the time comes. Um, my only concern with the no bridges rule is sometimes, not all the time, sometimes, the best oil spots are out over the water, right? So if you have the no building over open water rule or whatever it is, no building over ocean, is that going to potentially take away the best oil spots on the map? And maybe they're going to rework the oil generation. I don't know, right? But this map, I think the best oil spots were mostly over land. Obviously, you got mine right here, and you got monkey spot right here, and like this. If I had that setting on, would you be able to do something right here? Like, would you be able to make an oil rig right here? I don't know, but it would suck if you can't, right? Because it seems to be random. But I guess one thing I would have to do, if it does screw over, you know, water or oil platforms, whatever you want to call them, then I'll just have to make sure I'll have to re-roll the map. Would it prevent dumping tailings in the ocean? I doubt it. I think it would be just anything that you use the hammer to place, you wouldn't be able to place. I think you could still dump tailings in the ocean probably. But maybe there's a way, there's probably a way I can do that with an in-game law, though, Damo, which maybe I should put in. But basically the world generation. So there's a random seed, obviously, right? Well, even then, I'm not sure. I'm still not sure if you can even do it that way, like with the building columns up, because I think it's meant to just straight out prevent bridges from being built, right? It's to force people to use boats. $1,000 fine for every tailing dropped. Well, the problem is so you put a line that says, you can't drop tailings unless it's in a stockpile or whatever, right? But I think the problem, okay, so are these going to naturally regrow or do I have to replant them? Rudin, you would know. You had a tree farm last run. Will these come back by themselves or do we need to replant? So I could have a law that, you can only place tailings in stockpiles, or you get fined if you place a tailing that's not in a stockpile. Replant is better, Damo says. You got to replant. Okay, that's fine. I just want to know. Problem is though, they would just put a stockpile in the bottom of the ocean, right? Oh, we might get a tree, we might get grass. Okay, then I will replant. Should have enough seeds. I mean, I got seeds back home if I don't have enough on me. Allow oil rig on ocean, but no bridge. But the rule, it's a server toggle though, Ro, that basically says you can't build over ocean. Like it just prevents it. It's a server. It's not even a law, right? So I'm saying if we toggle that on, it would completely prevent oil things. But anyway, when I was talking about world generation. So obviously there's a random seed, right? And then you have all the settings. So if you change one setting or your seed, you get something completely different. But one thing, yeah, maybe you could use dirt, like Tarudin said. What was I gonna say? World generation. But if if you leave all the settings the same, the random seed and all the settings the same, and you just delete the world and create a new one, it will create the exact same land masses, the same rivers, the same biomes, the same everything, except for whatever reason, it'll do new oil spots, right? So if I find a world that we like, but the oil spots are bad or the oil spots are all over the water or whatever, it's easy for me to just reload a new world with the same settings and get different oil spots. Although I think they're tweaking. I apologize if you can hear the dogs barking. Um, I'm assuming they're going to tweak world generation settings though in update 10, right? You got to figure they're going to want it to have it. They're going to want it to be easy to make worlds that are boat friendly, right? I guess is what I'm trying to say. In a perfect world, we'll find a world where the good oil spots are not over the water. Yeah, like it's just if people are building bridges, right, then it kind of defeats the purpose of having boats, right? Because I know there are people that are gonna want to play a transport role with boats, right? I know there are people that want to do that, and I want to enable that, right? Because as bad as the player numbers are on this server, I expect when update 10 finally does go live, I expect that server to be my busiest server. Probably ever. Probably. I mean, it might not be. I could be wrong. I've been wrong before, I'll be wrong again, but I feel like it's going to be really well populated. Man, this chainsaw, like, you cut down a lot of things before you have to repair it. Yeah, well, we can discuss all this as we get closer, right? I'm hoping the playtest goes through on June 14th as scheduled, which is a week and a half away. That'd be what? Wednesday? It's a Wednesday, I think, the 14th. Yeah, it'll be interesting. It'll be fun if we can get a bunch of us to join that server and we can make a settlement together, right? And that way we can finally get a feel for what the settlements actually are. Yeah. I probably should have just made several small tree farms early instead of waiting to make this giant tree farm that was a lot of work. I think your giant tree farm you had last run, Tarud, made me think that was like the strategy, when really I feel like I should have went with something smaller, quicker. Several smaller, quicker ones. Right? Oh well. It's not a big deal. How we doing here? Yeah, let's cut down these 3 cedars here. That should be good. Yeah, ecophysics for the win. I did catch on to where you're building. I don't know what you're building. But I see where you're building. I'm curious to see what you're building. Yeah, that's the reason why, because one was hard, one was softwood. And I think they grow a little faster than some. Yes, this is totally normal for a tree to just balance on a truck like this. What happens if I drive away? Does the tree come with me? Oh, oh, uh-oh. Okay. We're good now, apparently. Ecophysics for the win. The problem was, though, with these types, I would have liked to have done one close to home, but so many people claimed near me, right? Early game, and a lot of them are gone. Right? I guess I could have done one right here, but I didn't want to feel like I was cramping people, right? Yours was planned to be big, but he expanded it over time. And didn't have that many trees at start. Yeah, see, I'm just doing one big tree farm. I'm doing it all at once. And, you know, I had to like, and I wasted all this time flattening this land because I thought it would help make sure that there was no overcrowding up there. And there was still a ton of overcrowding, right? Like I didn't need to do any of this. None of this was necessary. Oh well. Lesson learned. Yeah, I feel like logging for such what you would think would be like a central skill, I feel like it's really undercooked. Like this perk, this perk doing nothing, right? Like let's compare it to mining, right? Mining and logging should be really equivalent, right? So mining here has arguably like the two best perks in the game, right? Whichever one you prefer. I know I prefer one, some people prefer the other, right? Some people like not having the big blocks. I like the quick hands or whatever it's called. There's nothing for loggers. Um, Miners are absolutely necessary because they're the only ones that can crush ore and then concentrate it, right? So you need miners. That's all miners can do though. So they get a really good perk, less calories. Okay, so obviously less calories applies to both. They have the same perk at level 3. Um, make bridges impractical in huge map with a lot of water. The problem with a huge map though, Ro, is it'll perform like garbage, right? I get what you're saying, right? Make a really big map, lots of continents, lots of water between them. Bridges would be impractical, but a large map, I feel like would be bad for performance. So anyway, logging versus mining. So they both have the same level 3 perk. They both get less calories as they level, right? Mining can crush and concentrate and make sand, right? Very, very important things. Logging gets this wood cart that gets completely outclassed by the basic engineering wood cart. Like, forget about this, it's garbage. So they can make hewn logs more efficiently. Anybody can make hewn logs. Loggers can make them at half price once they get basic upgrades, right? Basically, they cost the same. It's just only loggers get the benefit of an upgrade module, right? And then they can make basic upgrade 1, and they can make charcoal. I just feel like, I mean, thank God they had this basic upgrade 1. If it wasn't for this basic upgrade 1 thing, you could just not have loggers on your map, right? Like, I don't know. Am I crazy? I feel like logging is like the worst skill in the entire game, other than like fertilizers or whatever. And I mean, these are just your other things, right? Like, I don't know. I feel like they need to give him something else. Like, I feel like you could easily be a carpenter. Well, paper, okay, you got me there, Dark. Paper milling. But paper milling is not actually anything. But, you know, you're 100% right. Paper milling is worse. I don't know. They need to make this skill really good, this perk, whenever they get it in. And they need to get it in. Yeah, you made a ton of Hume last server. Yeah. Oh, and I mean, I don't know. Maybe I feel like maybe the boards should also be logger. You know what I mean? Like carpenter can make boards. Like the same way loggers make hewn logs cheaper, carpenters make boards cheaper. I feel like carpenters do enough stuff that you could move the boards to logger. Maybe, I don't know. I don't know. I just feel like as long as you have one logger to make basic upgrade 1s, you could be a carpenter without a logger easily, and still self provide, right? Whereas if you're a smelter and you're not a miner, you need to buy stuff from a miner, right? You don't have an option. I don't know. Anyway, that's my rant because this is my first time doing logging other than single player, right? So, but I remember back, I don't know, Ro, you might remember him. He played on server 3 and 4. His name was Mort. He was an older guy, pretty chill, pretty casual. Advanced smelters love that charcoal. No, I agree. Charcoal is nice, but I'm using charcoal in my oil drilling stuff. Oil drillers love charcoal too, possibly even more than advanced smelters. But other than myself, I think Damo's the only one who's actually buying charcoal from me. Yeah, cutting edge cooking doesn't do anything right now either, but I believe that's planned to do something at some point. Yes, cutting edge cooking and paper milling, they're the worst too. Aside from them, I feel like it's logging. Uh, yeah. Anyway, but yeah, as a basic engineer, like early game, I was making my own hue logs. I was making my own boards. Late game, I would go buy it from one of the carpenters. Either you, typically, I didn't go to you a whole lot, Truden, because you were so freaking far away. I usually went to Black and Out or oh yeah, Mort. I gotta finish my Mort story. There was a Mort this run, and I asked him, "Are you the Mort from like 7 servers ago?" And he said no, because this one's like Mort TM. He trademarked his Mort. I went to Black and Out Stealth Cypher more often than you, Truden, but or yeah, make charcoal cheaper would be good as well. Yeah, Mort, he went logging first, and he made a basic bunch of basic upgrade ones. And I remember he came to me. He used to use in-game voice, and this was back when I used to sometimes have my in-game voice on. I don't use my in-game voice anymore. Just, I'm sure most people know that. I say I sometimes get in Discord voice, but I think I've only done that once this server. I should probably try to do it more often. But Mort came to me and he asked me in voice. He goes, other than these basic upgrade ones, what do I make as a logger? And I'm like, well, I was like, you can make hewn logs cheaper than other people. He goes, but they can make their own, right? I was like, yes. And then later on in the game, you can make charcoal. And he like looked up the recipe for charcoal, and he was like, "What? Why would I make that?" I was like, "Yeah, later. It's useful." But like, he stopped playing because he felt useless as a logger, which was too bad because he was a pretty cool, chill guy. And he never came back after that server, or at least I don't recall seeing him. Because loggers just don't do enough. And I was like, if you take carpentry, you can they go well together. And he's like, but he made the point that I shouldn't have to. I mean, yeah, it's efficient, but logs? I mean, anybody can go get logs though, right? Hewn logs, hewn logs, but anybody can make a hewn log. Yeah, loggers make it cheaper. So that was his point. I said, oh, you can make hewn logs cheaper. And I think he like made some and nobody bought them from him. And he just stopped playing, basically. Yeah, anybody who uses coal, well, not advanced smelt, anybody who uses coal as fuel can use charcoal. It's definitely more efficient. God, I have a lot of hewn logs. Let's wait for Derek to move his truck. I'll get it closer. Let's make more lumber here. Use up some of this hewn. I don't know. I feel like logging needs something. It's just not a valuable pick when stars are limited yet. But yeah, charcoal. I don't know. I only use it when I'm oil driller and advanced smelter. If you're the type who likes queuing up a bajillion things at once, charcoal is good because you can just fire it up and you don't have to worry about running out of fuel like you would with coal, right? Yeah, it's not a big deal. It's my own crappy design. I can only reach one of my stockpiles from there. But if I'd planned it out better, then we wouldn't have the I wouldn't have the issue, right? But I didn't. I didn't plan it out well. For research, no. Basic upgrade once, right? Because it's the one, especially, you can't do any of the other ones without it. Like I said, if you have, as long as you've got one person that's doing the upgrade once, because there is technically, like, well, where are we at? See, there's these research papers, but it's logging labor, but it's level 0, so anybody can do it. You don't actually need to be a logger, right? I don't know. And I will say this is one of the things where I specifically can't think of anything you can do to make logging better without hamstringing Carpenter. You know what I mean? The only things I can think of are just taking stuff away from Carpentry and putting them in the logger, right? Well, what they need to do is they need to make this perk actually do something, right? Anyway, that's my logging rant now that I've been a logger. Like, I mean, I did it in single player, but I probably took logging and carpentry back to back. And in my mind, in single player, I didn't realize how little of these things were actually logger. You know what I mean? Yeah, and farmer gathering, even though I've never done them, I realize those issues exist, and I have complained about those before. Ooh, somebody's looking for modern upgrade 3s. Oh, somebody did. Darth, you must have just got some modern upgrade 3s, did you? And I've said this before, I'll say it again. If anybody wants composite leather, I said composite leather, composite lumber furniture, let me know. I'll make some. I'm not going to stock it, but if you want some, I can make some. All right, so let's make. Actually, you know what? Let's not do. Let's wait. No. I need to level up. I was gonna say let's wait until I have modern upgrade 4s, but it's only 5%. So let's do 100 cedar. Use up some of this wood I just got down from my tree farm. Hey, Fuse, how you doing today? Fuse is like, what? Somebody talked about farming? I must go. Yeah, we're just saying, I'm complaining about how I feel like logging doesn't do enough, and it kind of needs, not a revamp, it needs some help. And then Tarud mentioned that farming gathering, they also need help. Or they need a revamp. In my opinion, just one man's opinion. And I just realized I did not plant any trees when I left tree farm. So let's turn some pulp into mortar here. I've been mostly, my mortar's been selling pretty good. Obviously early game mortar sells good, and then it kind of slows down. And then once you get back into the Ashlar, mortar starts selling it, because Ashlar, for anybody who doesn't know, Ashlar uses 6 mortar. Now you can half all these once you get your MUs, but it's, so to make 1 Ashlar limestone, it's 10 limestone, 3 mortar, and a steel bar. Yeah, which is a lot, because you're generally making a lot of the time, right? You're not making 10 of something, right? You're making way more than that. So 152, yes. Ooh, I'm trying to remember. Did I think I included this. I think I included this tip in one of my 10 things. For anyone who doesn't know, this is a little tip here, little Luch knowledge bomb. See how this has a green border, this has yellow border, green, yellow. The difference there is anything green benefits from a module, anything yellow does not. So I have no idea why this composite furniture benefits from an upgrade module, but the door doesn't. I have no idea why the door doesn't benefit. Now, obviously, it makes sense that these don't benefit, right? Because you got to use the whole one, right? You don't want people using half an upgrade. You need to do away with the durability and tractor attachments. I talked about that earlier. That either that or they need to the people who make the whetstones need to make it actually fixable with a whetstone. Logging is just really grindy. Well, the thing is, the problem is with logging, you could go do it almost as efficiently as I could without the skill, right? That's the problem. And and that's also part of the problem is like you said, it's a lot of work. But I don't know. Like, I'm just comparing it to mining, right? Because with mining, you need. I'm gonna go see what Rico's building. With mining, or with smelting, you need a miner to crush it and concentrate it. If you're a carpenter, you don't. Yeah, you could get it cheaper from a logger, right? Your hewn logs, but you don't technically need the logger. Whereas the smelter absolutely needs the miner. That's the difference. But you can't make hewn logs exclusive to logger, right? Because you need people to be able to make, I don't know, like masonry. Let's think about masonry. Anybody can make mortared stone, right? A mason can make it more efficiently, but anybody can make it. But the thing is, only a mason can make the specialized ones, like the mortared limestone, mortared sandstone, mortared granite, right? Because anybody can make, I don't know, maybe they need to make softwood and hardwood hewn look better, like upgrade the looks of those. But it's hard because you got hewn logs, you got lumber, you got composites, you got three stages. But maybe if they how do I get the Ricos the other way? If they made it so that only a logger could make hardwood and softwood hewn logs, and they made them look better, maybe that would boost logger up a bit. I don't know. I'm just spitballing here. I feel like I missed a turn off. You know why? It's because I did miss a turn off. Should be about 14 days and 3 hours for the meteor. Come back, come back. Ah, I missed it. Oh, maybe see it through the tunnel. Jerk meteor. Yeah, they'll come back around. With boats coming into play, is hunting, fishing getting adjustment as well? Well, fishing in general, I mean, realistically, fishing could be its own job if they fleshed it out, right? They would need to add more different types of fish. They would need to add more recipes that used fish. Um, but if they did, they could turn fishing into a job, 100%. But yeah, I don't know because there is like a fishing boat, right? There's a boat that's specifically meant to go in water. It's got a giant net on the back, right? Oh my goodness, what has Rico got going on here? You'll build the rest tomorrow. You're going out to a party tonight. Maybe I need log railing. On your bridge, that's fine. Well, I hope you enjoy your party tonight, Rico. The road is treacherous with the steam truck. Yeah. I went swimming with the fishes. Um, I was gonna say something else. I can't remember what now. But yeah, I agree, Taru or Thorgrim. Fishing should get a look. Well, I mean, water physics, water everything. Am I like eh, there? It's way easier. Um, oh, this is for the meteor destruction, right? This is the meteor destruction or meteor the world. Sorry, the world destruction platform. And if we change our mind, meteor destruction. But as of right now, world destruction. Nice. I have to turn your view distance up so you can see the meteors. I know what's going to happen though. People are going to start there, and then everybody's going to be like, everybody's going to end up going to their house to see if it got hit, right? It'll be like, oh, I think that would hit my house. I got to go see. But I might. I said this last time, and I'll say it again because I'm thinking about it. Might give everybody that's on for the meteor. I might give them admin privileges so they can use /fly because it's definitely the way to watch to see the meteor, right? Each person picks square and sees who gets by. Oh, well, we're all. Oh, if it's anything like last time, and I think Xander said they even upped the meteor. Most of the world gets hit with a meteor. It's about the size. So they're not. Some of them are just like a single claim size hole, and some of them are like gigantic. Oh, Ishmael is not gone on vacation right now, apparently, or maybe he probably has his laptop, I guess. Um, but yeah, it was quite enjoyable watching the meteor last time. I'm looking forward to it because it was a long time ago that we let it hit. And Xander said they did upgrade it a bit. I do like Miso's patchwork house. All right, so is there anything else? Any has anybody worked on a build lately that I should go see? I feel like have I been to Monkeys lately? I wonder if he's done anything. It's been I know Kitty hasn't played much. Like Thorgrim Tarudin, if you guys uh made your stuff look better, anything new? But yeah, some of the meteor strikes are huge. Like my whole property could get swallowed up. It's going to be interesting. And I'm wondering too. I wonder if saying that we're going to let the meteor hit has uh has discouraged people from playing. I feel like right after I said that, the number of active players went down. Like, did I shoot the server in the foot a little bit there? I don't think have I been up the broke keepers on stream lately. Yes, but hey, we don't need logging perks because we got eating animations. And yes, I realize the people who made the eating animations are not the people who would make the logging perks, but it's still terrible. I feel like I've been up here lately, right? Anyway, this is Bro Keeper's Bites, ladies and gentlemen. Meteor strike main piece hit the ocean when you let it drop last time. God, I don't remember. I mean, I feel like there was. I don't know if there was like one main piece. Like, I would have to watch it again. And it's like, part of me is like, oh, everybody should go watch it. But I also am kind of like, no, just wait. If we're going to let it hit, just wait and watch it here instead, right? Were there tsunamis? No, no. Fortunately, the water physics in this game are nowhere near that complex. All right, and I got to make sure. I got to make sure the specialized composite lumber I'm making doesn't get eaten up by this modern upgrade 3. So we got composite. Yeah, we got okay. So we got a bunch of just plain old composite, which is what we want. Okay, no, we're good. And hardwood lumber. Okay, wait. There's the palm. There's the composite redwood. Okay, so where is the birch? Oh, right here. It's going over here. No. Yeah, maybe. You've only ever watched it, never been online when it happens, so hopefully the time works out. It's like, oh well, you're Eastern time zone, right? So I think it's like 5 or 6 o'clock your time. 2 weeks from today. It's a Saturday. It's a Saturday in the middle of the day, which is part of the reason why we're letting it hit to begin with, because in theory, most people should be able to be around. But I mean, I know some people are going to have plans and whatnot. But if the meteor comes back around ever, because it's like I said, most everybody here has played on multiple servers at this point, right? Most people have seen the meteor hit, so I think it'd be cool, or seen the meteor get destroyed. So it would be cool to let it hit. Where are you, Mr. or Mrs. Meteor? I have not even been up here. I've not even. The first time I've seen snow. This this server. Oh, I'm gonna have to cut you down later, probably. Speaking of Mort, here's the other Mort. I wish he would have stuck around. I'm kind of curious to see what he was going to come up with here. This is kind of interesting. Okay, Meteor, where are you? You're supposed to be coming over the horizon there, aren't you? I thought if I... Oh, there it is. 14 days, 2.5 hours. So, whatever time it is now, add 2.5 hours to that in 2 weeks. So for me, so let me think. It's 2:42. So that'll be shortly after 5 o'clock for me. So I'll start to stream at like 5 o'clock, which will be like 10 or 20 minutes before it hits. We'll let it hit now. And the thing is, too, if anything goes wrong, I can use an admin command to spawn in a meteor. So like for you, Tarun, I think that'd be like 4 o'clock, right? 10 after 4. 9 or 10 o'clock for people in Europe, right? So they should be still awake. Pacific time, it'll be like 1 o'clock. So people should be up, right? I feel like it's the perfect time of day. So it's a good time to let it. Oh, there's all kinds of old growth redwoods, monkey primes, oil refineries. Woo! I feel like a drone, you know, those cool drone things they do where they like go through stuff. I'm doing that right now. Drone parkour. Of course, the thing is, I can just. It's not like I'm actually avoiding stuff. If I can just go through stuff while flying. Oh well, here's part of the reason why you don't have dirt in the thing, because it's being stored here instead. Yeah, I'm hoping everybody that wants to see it can get to see it. I mean, you can always watch the VOD, but there's something about being there live. And you know what? I decided I'm going to give everybody /fly. If we let the meteor hit and you're online, I'm going to give you admin commands so that you can use /fly. Just, I'm trying to think, is there anything, could anybody grief? Provided, unless you're somebody that I don't know. Like, anybody that's played on a few servers and I trust isn't a moron, I will give you admin commands that day so you can do /fly. We'll start out on Rico's platform because he's going through all this effort to make it. We'll start out there. But I know what's going to happen. As it starts hitting, people are going to want to see their own properties, right? But I feel like we should start together out on Rico's viewing platform. And if we end up shooting it down instead, but I'm 99% sure we're going to let it hit at this point. You like my qualification? Isn't a moron? And yeah, I mean, I say that I'm going to give everybody main commands, but if like somebody logs in that I don't recognize, right? Somebody that's not part of the community at this point, they're not going to get /fly. right? Because they could potentially do something to grief. But just warning you right now, if you're planning to play past the meteor hitting, you're going to have a bad time. Okay. But like Phil said, if they delay the play test, maybe we'll push back. We'll like actually destroy the meteor. And then maybe we'll let it, I'll in command one in like the next week or something. I don't know. We'll cross that bridge when we get to it. But cutting edge cooking does technically have a purpose. They make this ethanol, couple different corn ethanol, wheat ethanol, which can be used to make biodiesel. But you also need fat, like, which isn't super common. Or, well, is it now? Yeah, there's some. Miller's got some out. Yeah, all biofuel, biodiesel. Which is, I wish it was a little easier to make. The problem is it still uses a barrel, still burns through a barrel, right? To replace that fat with spoiled food. They should do something with spoiled food. I think that's my big problem with spoilage. Is spoiled food. Yeah, apparently you can put it on the ground and it becomes compost. But like they need to add a purpose for compost, right? If that's your grand plan. I don't know. I feel like they shouldn't have put. Yeah, I like that idea too. They should have. They should have found a use for the spoiled food before they put spoilage in. I realize it's an early access game, right? Like we're all playing an early access game here. My God, this game's been in early access for what, like 5 years at this point? I'm checking because I'm curious. It's got to be close to 5 years. February 2018, so it's a little over 5 years. This has been out in early access. So don't get me wrong, they've added a ton. It's changed a lot. Even just in the 2 years I've been doing it. Like if you go back and watch, like if you go back watch my solo run or one of my early community servers, the UI looks completely different. They've changed a ton. They added a bunch of recipes. Like the tailor outfits are all new, but man. Oh, while I'm here, while I'm changing scenes, shout out to my patrons. I couldn't do without you. I appreciate you greatly. Do I need to update this? Problem is, I had somebody cancel 2 days ago, yesterday, whatever. But like their patron name isn't their Discord name, so I don't know who it is. But I'm pretty sure there's at least 2 people on this list that aren't patrons anymore. But thank you to the people who are patrons. And in particular, give me a sec. Shout out to my super patrons, which would be like the people that give me $20 or more per month, which would be Axel, Domokun, Edible, Killa, Elcirk, Punch, and Purple. Special shout out to all you beautiful people. Because I would have had to find a normal job and not do this anymore if it wasn't for my patrons. So you are appreciated, patrons. And if anybody would like to support me on Patreon, link is in the description down below. And I will say too, I do need to do more for my patrons. I will freely admit that. And I'm going to try going forward. And I'm going to try to add some more benefits. Maybe play with the tiers a bit. But if anybody's, and I'm not saying anybody is, but if anybody's like signing up to be a patron, and it's like $5, $20, and then there's higher ones. It's Canadian dollars, by the way. So it's like $2 American. No, it's not that low. But if you're like, well, I could afford to give like 10, but there's no $10 tier, you can still give 10. You just count as being in the $5 tier. Just FYI, for anybody who's curious. But yeah, I feel like I'm begging for money. Like sitting with here with my hat in my hand. But in a perfect world, I would make enough from ads that I wouldn't have to get money from people. But that's not the world we're in right now. So here I am asking for money. Anyway, enough about that. Enough of me begging. Um, I'm looking forward to the meteor hitting. I'm looking forward to the play test. Plant already exists here, all right? And hopefully they'll both go well. Oh no, was this row cedar? Birch. I think I had 5 rows of each. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, it's birch. Plant already exists. Oh, there's something. That's not a tree. It's grass. I should have replanted sooner. Wait, did I really do that many more birch than cedar? Apparently. Whatever. It's fine. So I'm gonna have to dig this up. Place it back down. And I did a whole hewn log row underneath. And ooh, I don't have a hoe on me. Well, it looks like I'm not planting anything there right now. Because I don't have my hoe on me. Because I'm dumb. And I didn't bring it. Yeah, it's hilarious that cutting edge cooking, like, it exists. You used to do literally nothing. And like they took the time to actually give it a purpose, but it's like so small of a purpose, nobody's ever gonna take it still. Oh, actually, it doesn't even have a purpose because this is level 0. You don't even need to be cutting edge cooking. But there's all this stuff. Hydrocolloids recipe, liquid nitrogen recipe, CO2 canister, transglutaminase, maltodextrin, cornstarch, refined fish. Oh, which just makes hydrocolloids. Refined kelp makes hydrocolloids. So there's all this stuff, but it doesn't actually do anything, right? Like clearly they have a plan, and apparently eventually you're going to be able to like can your own. You can put your food in a can, which obviously will increase its lifetime. But it's like, well, we're going to make canned food eventually, but not yet. So let's put spoilage in, and then we'll give people ways to deal with spoilage in the future. Right? I don't know. That just seems dumb to me. Ooh, speaking of ways to deal with spoilage, does Phil have any fridges? Phil, I don't know if you're still there, but if you are, I can only speak for myself, but I feel like people will buy either the refrigerator or the industrial refrigerator, right? Level 7 cutting edge coating makes Twinkies never spoil. That would be good. Yeah, and another thing. Oh my God. Oh my God. Yeah, at the very least, Phil, I don't know, Phil might not be there anymore. At the very least, Black and Edge said a good idea. The cooks and the farmers, at the very least, will want fridges. There's fridges, and then there's industrial fridges. There's like 2. You spell refrigerator. Refrigerator? That doesn't look right. That's not right. That's not how you spell that. That looks so wrong. Okay, so the first A is supposed to be, you know what? You know what? I used to be a good speller, but as I get older, I've gotten worse at spelling. Wait, is it not electronics? Oh, it must be industry. But I just had an epiphany, and remind me to come back to that. Yeah, so there's industrial. Oh, it's E. Instead of that first A, it's an E. But I mean, this takes a lot to make this, but people will definitely buy it. And then there's a refrigerator, which is a little cheaper, but it's still pretty expensive. I think at this point, Phil's, I don't know if he really has stuff to be making these at the moment. Like if he wasn't doing MU4s, he probably could, but he probably can't do these and MU4s right now. Yeah. Anyway, what I was going to say is one thing I've harped on. Yeah, the refrigerator. Um, yeah, I still don't know how all the gators went extinct. I've harped on the fact that, especially once you get to this point in the game, advanced cooking and advanced baking kind of don't matter anymore, right? And I've always said maybe they need to increase the number of calories they are or whatever. But you know what they could do? They could make advanced cooking and advanced baking stuff. They could make it last longer. They could give it a base higher shelf life, right? I mean, I don't know, because you reach a point where you don't really need, like, I'm not going to get my next star. I'm probably not going to get my next star in time to matter. And once I get that one, I'm definitely not going to need my one after that, right? So it's almost like, why would I pay for advanced cooking and advanced baking stuff right now, right? I don't need the XP, especially once this gets to 7, right? I don't need the XP, and the high level food, generally speaking, does not give more calories. So I've always said they should make the higher level food give more calories, but they could also make it last longer. Might encourage people to buy it. But on the other hand, I have a feeling we might not have spoilage on my next server. But yeah. And I don't know. I think that'd be good. And it makes sense, right? Like, especially baked goods, right? Because, I mean, there's preservatives in there. Anyway, just a thought. Just a thought. And I want to, well, I have a chance, remind everybody approximately 6 hours from now. So this stream's going to be over soon, but 6 hours from now, I'm going to be streaming again. We're going to be playing Jackbox games. They're party games, trivia. You know, if you ever played like Apples to Apples or Cards Against Humanity, there's stuff like that. It's a mini game collection, but they're more not. It's not like Mario Party mini games. It's like party games, and I own it. I stream it. You just play along on your phone or tablet or your computer. I recommend using your phone. So hopefully we get a bunch of people come for that. It'll be going for probably a few hours if you can't come right at the start. I'll be going for a while. Hopefully get some people there to start as well. Anybody have any questions for me while I'm here? And another thing, I am going to try to actually get some Let's Plays going or more streams. Basically, all I've done for content in the last week is the eco streams and nothing else, and that's not good. I'm actually getting a lot of views. I'm getting quite a few views just because Mad Games Tycoon 2 came out of early access, and I have like so much content for that. I don't know if it's still the case, but you know, because people might have made content for it. But if you put Mad Games Tycoon 2 in YouTube, like 6 of the top 10 hits were my videos. It might not be the case now because some big content creator may have done some content for it, but it was the case. But yeah. So if anybody knows of a game, anything coming out this week that you think I would enjoy or would be a good fit for the channel, definitely let me know. Like I said, I try to stick to new releases, but I don't know. I might have to revisit some stuff or check out some new games that aren't new to me. I need more than just streaming eco 3 days a week, right? That's not going to cut it. I'm not going to grow my channel. I am going to do some guides, like those little profession guides that I've done for different things. I'm going to do it for logging and carpentry. Probably just one single video because I do not think I could talk about logging for a whole video. That would be like a 3-minute video, I feel. Thorgrim says base spoilage should be at least 7 days. I wouldn't be against that. But I think part of the problem with that, a lot of Fountain of Youth, I've not even heard of that. Um, a lot of servers, only last like 10 days, right? So yeah, it's base 3 days, 4 days if you put stuff in an ice box. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, maybe like campfire cooking has a base of 3 days. Cooking and baking has a base of 4 days. Advanced cooking and baking is 5 days, plus the extra day for putting it in an ice box, or even more if you put it in a fridge, right? But solo survival game, I'll check it out. Actually, I'm just gonna search for it in my Steam store so it's there. Fountain of Youth or Survival Fountain of Youth? I'm assuming it's Survival Fountain of Youth is the full name. Well, it just came out a couple months ago. My God, I have 1,970 hours in Eco. I'll be going over 2,000 hours in Eco this week. So one of my streams this week will be my 2,000 hours in Eco celebration stream. You're okay with no spoilage. When folks log in, there's no food because you don't want to overproduce. They may leave and not come back. Yep. Oh, and in addition to people not logging in at all because they're waiting for update 10, I'm pretty sure there were people that didn't stick around because no currency those first 2 days kind of sucked. Right? Which, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how it's going to work with settlements. I really don't. I'm nervous because this run showed that we as a group have become accustomed to certain things. And I'm not sure we can have those things and have settlements. Right? So maybe some hard decisions coming up for us as a group. We'll see. Hopefully not. Hopefully we can figure out a way to make it happen. Right? And it's kind of, I'm okay. Part of me wanted to cut everything down at once so that everything regrew at the same time. But I think having it regrow in stages would be good. I'm only gonna cut stuff down as I need it, I guess makes sense, right? We've been spoiled. Yeah. Well, and I mean it took most of you folks weren't around. I don't know if Ro was still here. I don't think Josh is in the stream, but Sadio. Most of the folks weren't like we literally, I mean, server one, we were all noobs. None of us had any idea what we're doing except for one guy. One guy was like a very experienced player, and he showed us a lot, but we all learned a ton. Server two, I did have a day one government. We did have currency on day one. That was like the only law, though. You got $500 when you logged in, and you could hunt on other people's properties. Literally, I think those were the only two laws on server two. There was no road districts, none of that stuff, no government stores. Server three, there was no government day one. We went back to no government day one. And yeah, that was the last time we had no day one government until this one. Because, yeah, I don't hate the barter system in theory. It's just, it's rough. But then knowing currency's coming, right? And the change, like, currency's in place now, but this person hasn't logged in, so their store is still on their credits. And you're like, ugh, right? And then server four, that was the one where I outsourced the government to Lazy Kiwi. That was the first, Ro built the government building. We had currency, we had laws, we had all that on day one. That was the first time we had road districts. Kiwi burnt out, and then I took over doing the government. Server five was the first one with a government store. There was only one, but there was road districts in place in day one. Currency, basically from server five on, they've looked pretty similar, right? Like we've evolved, we added some laws and some stuff, but yeah, those first few servers were pretty different. It was kind of the Wild West. Server 2 was wild though, because it was a giant world. There was two big continents, and like The player base was split pretty evenly between the two continents, which early game was fine. People mostly just stayed on their own continent. But then once we got into the late game, people started dropping off. All of a sudden, like I was industry and electronics, but I wasn't a mechanic. So I needed a mechanic to make me like copper wire and heat sinks. There's a few items that industry needs a mechanic to make for them. And early on, Purple was a mechanic, and I just got them from Purple. Then Purple stopped playing, so I had to travel all the way across the world to Encrypted Shadow Shop. But it's like I could start at my house here, drive all the way around the world and get back to my house. That's about how long it was for me to go to Encrypted Shadow Stop. Just go there, and then I had to drive back. So that was the last time we did multiple continents. Ever since then, it's been one continent. But obviously, once boats get added, we'll go back to multiple continents, right? Just kind of makes sense. So yeah, Meteor in 2 weeks. I'm going to continue to stream Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. This week, I am probably going to try to upgrade my house one of the streams this week. Jackbox games in 6 hours or so. Hopefully, at least a few people come back. I understand, like Russ, that's like really late for you European folks. Yeah. Thanks for coming out, everybody. Remember to hit that like button. I will try to get that, overview guide for logging and carpentry. Probably work on that this week. I will try to get some just content in general out. I'll take a look at that. Found a youth game Thorgrim recommended. And some other stuff. If anybody else has any suggestions, put them in the general gaming Discord or DM me or whatever. Yeah. I think that's it. Thanks for coming out, everybody. Hope everybody has a good rest of their weekend. If I don't see you tonight, see you Tuesday, hopefully. Most importantly, though, folks, be good to each other. Have a great day. And I'll see you in the next one.